Hello and welcome. I know it's a Sunday, but it's the first live video in Crochet with Trisha. And I know it's only been an hour since I decided, yes, I'm going to do it. I had an hour to spare, or I found an hour, and I thought, let's go for it, because I know so many of you are waiting to get going in your journey in crochet. So, as usual, I don't believe I should be able to see any comments, but you never know. So, hopefully, I'm going to see it here. It's going to come up on mine at some point. But yes, I can see you're all watching, and you're probably commenting as well. But I haven't seen where it is yet. Let's just have a look. Oh, no, not there. Press the wrong thing. Never mind. I know it will come up soon. It will. It will. So, lovely. I can see plenty of you at a loose end, or perhaps you've interrupted your sewing. But this is Crochet with Trisha. And just another little sideline, if you like, just to expand your repertoire of soft crafts. And crochet has been a love of mine for many, many years, since my nanny taught me. Oh, I would think so, let me see, 50 plus years ago. And I've always been able to just pick some yarn up and start crocheting, as well as reading some patterns as well. So as I said, or as we've said, a lot of you, or there's somebody commenting through, I don't know where, it's not coming here yet, but you never know. Please, 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 notifications. Perhaps it will say it's live. I'm sure we are live. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. There we go. No, it's not there yet. Oh, well, never mind. Never mind. I'm sure it will come up soon. So, if you've been into the group today, I did put this post in the subscription group, Sew with Trisha, but I have put it in the Crochet with Trisha group as well. Just saying that if you're at a loose end this afternoon, it would be lovely if you could join me, and we'll get going on the basics of crochet. And as I was saying the other afternoon, I'm not going to bombard you with every stitch there is in crochet. It's a limited amount. It's a little bit like knitting. You've got your basic purl and knit, your knit and your purl stitch, but it's the combination that gives you those different stitches. And similarly with crochet, we'd have the basic of what I'm going to show you this afternoon, the slip knot, how we start, and the chain. That, I would say, the chain comes into every single project that you start to make. Sometimes we'll go into it later. A magic circle, you've probably heard of that. I won't do that today because I want to just instill the basics of crochet in one way. There's usually different ways of doing it, and as I say, the magic circle is another way. But we'll start off with slip knot and chain, and then what you can do is have a little practice, because how we pop the yarn around our hand, our fingers, to give us a nice tension, that is also something which can take a while to get used to. Others just go to it just like that. But having the way I put the yarn around my fingers gives you good tension for getting good stitches and good sizing. Now, what I will say about crochet and what we are going to do, whether it be granny squares, hexagons or whatever, your tension, apart from making the stitches nice and even, it doesn't really matter if it's slightly loose or slightly too tight. It's whatever you consistently make, the stitches that you consistently do, which is going to give you your end result. Now, if you're making a garment, on the other hand, that is different, and you will need to do a tension swatch just to make sure you're using the right size hook to go with your yarn. And what I'm going to be using mainly to begin with is a 3.5mm hook and double knit yarn, whether it be acrylic or whether it be cotton. That's what we'll start off with, because it's probably the easiest yarn to deal with. You will see, yes, did I? Yes, no, I put a few PDFs up today, but in the Sew with Trisha group, this group, I have put a couple of PDFs just showing how you make the slip knot and how you make a chain stitch, just so that you can go back to it. The video is going to be here in the group all the time. I'm not going to delete it, so you can always watch again. But if you've got something in front of you to look at as well, you'll be able to see if you're doing it correctly. So the yarns, I mean, hook sizes go from probably a 1 1/4 right up to coming up 20. I can't remember seeing a 20 mil, but if you're using the chunkiest of yarns, really, really chunky, you might need the biggest of hooks. But the main ones we'll be using, say from a 2 through to a 6, which is what this set includes. The previous one went from a 3 to a 6, the Knit Pro ones, which I should be using, and I get those. If anybody should like the other set, which is in a case, which I meant to bring up, has got, what's it got, 9 hooks or 7? 2, 4, 6, 8. This one's got 9, so it's got 2 extra hooks. There is no case to go with it, but you've got 9 hooks, ranging from a 2mm at this end right up to a 6mm. So basically in one set you've got everything you'll need, unless you're doing something with the finest of yarn or the chunkiest of yarn. So for those of you that knit, you will know there are yarns, the weights of them: 2-ply, 3-ply, 4-ply, double knit, Aran, chunky, super chunky. But as I say, the main one I'm going to be using is double knit at the moment. When we go into making doilies, we'll probably be using a crochet thread, which can be like a perlé 5 or an 8, and you'll just use the hook size depending on the thickness of the yarn you're using, and to get the best results. So let me just have one more little look just to see. Oh, how irritating that I'm not live in here, that I can see. Likes your live video. Oh, here we are. Here we are. I should have clicked on that. Afternoon. Yes, I can see. Right, so there's Christine. Hello, Christine. Josie, Yvonne, Eileen, Penny, Sandra, Jenny, Anne, Heather, and Jenny. Need to make a case for our hooks. Yes, we do, don't we? Now, if you've seen Sheena's, oh, Sheena's watching. Yep, lovely. Hello, Judith. Sheena used the Olga bag, and along the front pocket she made channels to be able to put her crochet hooks in, which looks fantastic, and what a great idea. Oh, and there's Jack. Hello, Jack. So some of you will have been able to, or have crocheted for quite some time, and you'll know exactly what you're doing. Others of you may not have done any crochet before, so that's why I'm going to start with the absolute basics, and we'll do one stitch at a time, apart from today, the slip knot. But you know, I can't just show you that and you go away and have a practice making slip knots, because you'll get that just like that. But making the chain might be a little bit more challenging to begin with, because it's totally new to you, and it's just getting your hands moving to form those stitches. So I didn't know. Oh, what I will say at this point, I meant to put a post up somewhere because I saw it in another group. Facebook's changed notifications things yet again. So if you didn't get a notification, it may be that, as Lindsay's just put, no, Janet's just put here, well done, Janet, click on the 3 dots in the top right, I think, of the page, and it will probably say highlights. But what you want is all posts or all notifications, and it's quite irritating when they do that. I noticed with mine, I think, gosh, I haven't seen this for a long time, I haven't seen that, and that's what you need to do. So in any of the groups you're in, if you want to see everything that's going on, get all the notifications, you need to have it in your settings. So there's 3 little dots, look for those 3, I think they're one below the other. Click on that, and it will say highlights, and you don't want it on highlights, you want all notifications or all posts. Yes, Sarah. Left-handed. Well, I'm going to show you, I've been having a little try left-handed, and as I am a right-handed person, it's not as easy for me, but I'm going to give it a go so that you can see how it's done. What I'm going to do, I'm going to move the camera hopefully so that a right-handed person can see easily. And I don't know, usually if you watch it in a mirror, then it reverses it, so a left-handed person could watch it like that. But because, as I say, oh, it shows a bell for notice. Yeah, that's at the bottom, I think. Yeah, that's at the bottom of the page, but at the top there's 3 little dots. So have a look there. Okay, got quite a few of you here. So let's let me just say first of all, so the other thing that I said to you about the other day, and I put a post in the group, this is the book I bought. I think it was £6 something. Very, very reasonable. Hardback book, and it says it's got 20 blocks in, 20 crochet squares in there, but they are just look at those. Lovely. There's some more. There's some more. And they are all very doable. You will be able to make these, not today, but in the future. Give it a couple of weeks and you'll be making them, even a week. It depends when I say I'll do the next live and we'll move on to the next stitches. Or it might be a couple of stitches because I don't think you'll get confused between 1 and 2. But we will do the slip knot and the chain today. We'll then go on to a double crochet, and we'll then go on to a treble crochet as well. And each time, so I do the double crochet separately. Now, if you love making soft toys, crochet toys, double crochet is the stitch that nearly all of them are made in double crochet, because they're much smaller stitch and it keeps it all together so that any stuffing doesn't come out through the gaps. So you'll be on your way with that. We'll look at abbreviations. I need to do a PDF with the abbreviations so you know what they mean. And actually, and in the future, I just bought a book yesterday and I've had a quick flick through it. Oh, it's lovely. I'll show you that one as well. We will be making crochet flowers. Right. Loads of different flowers and absolutely amazing. And within this book, apart from wording to tell you how to make it, it's also got the symbols. So I'm going to get used to the symbols again, and so we can do it that way. So those of you who have got some patterns, it's only symbols that you think, what on earth does that mean? I'll explain through that as well. Oh, corners are lovely, Kathleen. Hello, Carol. Okay. Yes, corners are lovely. I love making corners. Let me just show you on this one. So there's a corner. These each round, well, down this diagonal here, they're all corners. And the corner is made by stitching into, so you can see what that corner is there is 3 trebles. Here we go, 3 trebles. Might have been 3 chain in the middle, and then another 3 all into the same stitch. Whereas these ones are just 3 trebles into that hole. So the corner ones here, into that one hole, you've got a set of 3 chain, which gives that corner, and another 3. So that's just for those of you that know how. That is how. And oh yes, it's lovely making a corner. There's Elaine. Hello. And it all went wrong. Oh dear, Sue. Well, hopefully after this, it won't all go wrong. So let's have a look. I am going to use. Let me see. I'm going to get another one out as well. I won't be using that today, but I've got all the cotton crochet yarns that I'll be using. They're great for knitting, but because they are 20-gram balls, it means that, oh, dropped on there, 20-gram balls. Let me just, trust me to just mess it up. There you can get a lot of different colours and be able to do different colours within one granny square. Let's just put those. So we're using an off-white here. Let's pop that back down here. There we go. And what I wanted to show you first of all, so those of you that knit as well, you will probably find this. I don't know whether you do or whether you don't, but when you get your ball of yarn, do you take your wrapper off and just find the end and start knitting with it? And then what happens is when you need a bit more length of yarn, you bounce this about everywhere, or you've got a special container that it goes into. I don't do that. What I do, I usually leave the band on it, but if you go into the middle, so you see where that little hole is, or this one might be easier, this side, that little hole there, if you gently, or carefully rather, pop your finger in there, or you could put the hook, let's put the crochet hook, just put it into the middle and just pull out very gently that first clump of, I'm probably pulling too much, the other one came out beautifully, but no, if you pull that first bit out and you unravel that piece, right, so now I've just got this little bit to undo, and my yarn always comes out from the centre of the ball. It pulls so much more easily, and you don't get it clogging up. You can just pull it easily. And I'm now just going to wrap this around the outside just to hold it together, because I'll be doing a pink and white one in the future. But taking the yarn from the centre is the way to go, whether you're knitting or you're crocheting. So let's just pop that just there. And let's see what else with the yarn. It will, Jack, I haven't taken pictures yet, but I'll pop it on the website. You always take it from the website. I'm just reading another one there. Oh, you go from the middle. Lovely, Lindsay, lovely. And Anne and Sarah, brilliant, brilliant. Yes, I shall be putting them on the website, and they will be £1.10 per ball of 20 grams. Let me just show you. This is the pink I'm using. So you can see it is small, but there is, what did I say, 47 yards, 43 metres on there. So there's a fair bit, but it gives you the option of being able to have, rather than having a 100-gram ball, if you're making a shawl, or you are doing a one-colour rug, I was going to say, blanket with one colour, granny squares, absolutely fine, you would need that. But if we're going to do two colour and we're only doing a few of, I just thought it's quite nice. Or small amigurumi characters, little soft toys, be great with all, being able to have lots of colours. And what I was going to say, those of you who are in the Sew with Trisha group, the paid group, there will be a cheeky little discount. I'll pop a code in there. Once I've got them on the website, I should pop a code in the group so that you can get a 10% discount on all your crochet yarn purchases. Okay. Right, let's have a look. Let's see if I can keep that down. That's closer to here. And I'll see if I can look at... Right, here we are. So I thought I would use pink yarn because I thought you would probably be able to see what I'm doing with it a lot better. So as you can see, I've taken my yarn from the middle. As a right-handed person, I'm going to have my yarn on the left. So if you're left-handed, I imagine you'll have yours on the right, because we will be using the yarn from the ball of yarn that's here. So just push that over there. Let's see if I can just pop that's better. Then I can see what it looks like, and I can see any comments coming up. So a slip knot. The PDF shows you to do it with your crochet hook, which you can. But what I tend to do is just make a little circle that overlaps. So I've just taken the thread around to make that little circle. Okay, so you can see that. Let's just come in Just a little bit closer, that's it. And then either with the hook or your fingers, what we're going to do is pull this yarn up in a loop here. I'm going to do it with my fingers because it's easier. So then you just push that up the middle there and pull it through, and then just pull that down. Okay, so you've got a loop. You've got a loop there, and with a little knot, but it is a slip knot. Let's go over here a bit, shall we? Just around here so that you can see. So there's your slip knot, which, as it says, you can just pull it back out again. So I'll go it once again. I'll perhaps do it 3 times. So I've just wrapped that over to make the circle, and then you take the short end and push that up into the circle and pull it through. Now I'm clamping it with my fingers as well, and then just grab both ends, the long end and the short end, whoops, and just pull that together, and we have our loop. And then you'd put your crochet hook into the loop, the slip knot, and just pull. I'm pulling from my left like that, and you don't want it to be tight. You want this to be able to run up your metal part of your crochet hook, so it's loose enough to be able to stitch with it. Now what I didn't say about was holding the crochet hook. Now this one, if you can see, this is a soft grip, so it's sort of rubbery, silicone-y, nice and comfortable. And I basically have it sideways, so the depth of it is going down, and I'm just holding it. I suppose I've got a thumb to one side, my first finger to the other side, and the rest of it in my hand there. So it's nice and comfortable. And the little bit of yarn is hanging down to my right, so for a left hand will be to their left, and my full yarn, so all the ball of yarn is to my left, ready for this to be wound onto my fingers. When I say wound, it just goes under and over in a certain way. So let's just do that once again, so we can take that off, pull it off, easy peasy. So we're going to make a circle. So if you just pull that tautish and then wrap it round so that you've got one bit going over the other, so you form a circle, and then this bit you're going to push up into that circle, grab the piece you've just popped into the circle, and then I'm just pulling that to pull it together. Okay, so there is our knot and our slip knot, and again I've got my little end there and the piece that goes into the ball there. So we can now pop our hook into the slip knot, pull it down, but just make sure there's enough ease for the slip knot to go up and down the crochet hook. Now, how do we wrap it? So here is my hand. Okay, now it's going to go over my little finger, under my ring finger, and over the 2 other fingers. Okay, and then my finger and thumb hold the knot of my slip knot. Let's just go, no, not close in. Just take that back just a little bit. Whether it's on my phone, it just looks a bit too close. So let's do that again. So it goes over. So it goes over my little finger, under my ring finger, over the 2 middle finger and the first finger, and then my thumb with no nail goes onto the knot with my first finger behind it, like so. And you want this to be fairly taut, so at the minute that's too loose. So I'm just going to pop it in again, and can you see that that is taut? So just pull it back here so that it's taut across my fingers. It's not loopy, but just so that I can feel that the yarn there. So I'm clamping my little finger and my ring finger together, and then the other end I'm holding is where I'm holding the knot of my slip knot. Okay, and what you'll find you end up doing, I do rock my hand backwards and forwards. So when holding this, we're going to basically work in that little gap of, or that piece of yarn that runs between the first finger and the middle. And I'm going to put the hook under the yarn and grab it in the hook itself and pull through that the first chain. And we will move our thumb up along the chain as we make another stitch. So again, I've still got that taut. Can you see how that's taut there? So in that little gap there between my fingers, I'm taking the head of the hook under the yarn, pull it through that chain, and then I can move my thumb up a little bit more. Let's just do it this way. The head goes under and pulls that chain through. So if you have, okay, so I've dropped that one, we can just pop it back in, and you can see there I've got two, they're little V's. So again, that's got loose, that's too far apart, so I'm going to reposition over little, over little under the ring and over the two. So again, we go under, and make sure that you can see that there's a loop big enough for the crochet hook to go through, under the yarn, twist it over just a little bit so it hooks the yarn, pull it through. Now we can do one more. So I've moved my hand just a little bit so I can see that line of yarn there better, and then I'm going to put the hook under the yarn, capsulate it in the hook and pull. Now those two chains are growing that bit longer, so I'm going to move my thumb up so it's just under the very last chain that I made. So again, under the chain, under that piece of yarn, pull it through, under, and I'm just rocking my hand backwards and forwards and pull it through. So there's two chains. I'm going to move my thumb up so that I can just see that one chain that we just made and go under, into the hook, pull it through, under, into the hook, pull it through. I've got three chains there now, so I'm just going to pull it down, move that. Couldn't get used to that type, so you went back to the old faithful one. That's fine. You're doing a chain, Sheena. Are you doing it along with me? Kirst says, a knitter, I kind of hold a crochet hook in whatever way that gets you going, and I have no idea. I hold the wool. That's what I was saying about yesterday, Kirsty. Whatever is good for you is absolutely fine. It is. It's whatever suits you. I've always done it this way and not had problems. If you get a problem, you find a way that sorts it for you, absolutely fine. But wrapping it around your fingers is really, in some form, to give you that tension, will give you the best end results. So let's just go again. So, oh, I'm right next to it here. Okay, so I'm going to put the hook under that piece of yarn, wrap it round and pull it through. I'm going to move my thumb up again, just so that I can see that one chain. Wrap it round, pull it through, wrap it round, pull it through. And you can see my hands going backwards and forwards, so that you want your chain to be as even as you can make it. But if you just keep practicing on the chain, because this will be the base of all your crochet work, especially if you're doing a shawl perhaps, where you've got a long length that you're just crocheting backwards and forwards, or a scarf. Lots of circular doily type projects will use a chain in the middle, although we might use the magic circle at some stage. And chain will be used in the blocks as well. So, oh, Ellen, hold your work the same as I. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, so let's just pull that. So if you ever, let's just pop this over here. If you ever find that it's not good enough, or your chain isn't good enough, then you can always pull it back. Or if you've done too many, you can pull it back easily. So now sometimes we need to count the chain. So it is a good idea to have a look and see. Your eyes will get used to it the more you do. But when we count these, here's one. Can you see that like V? So there's chain 1. There's another one is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I've just pulled that last little one out. Okay, so we've got 10 there. You can see that first one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's these little V's, and it's more, there's, on one side of it is a single strand, the other side there's 2. So, but you can see that on the top, it's a V that goes along. Oh, that's it, that's better. You've got a lovely long rat's tail. Fabulous. So, you know, if you ever need, instead of using ribbon, you could use a chain. If you crocheted a lot of chains, you could plait them together to make a wider chain. Caroline's chain is quite long now, but some are tight and some are loose. It's wrapping the thread around the hand. Yes, now that is where, yeah, also, I'm using a 3.5mm hook. And you see that they're 3.5mm. If you're using double knit, 3.5mm. If it's a bit thicker, perhaps try using a 4mm or use a 3. See which one suits you best. Let's just have a look. Don't hold the arm. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. So winding it around your little finger twice, fine. Sometimes with that, it could be, it could wrap round too tight and not run through loosely, but it may be that it runs through too loosely if it's not wrapped round. So see what's best for you. Can I bring my hands forward? It's just the way you hold the yarn around your fingers again. Absolutely. Right. So let's start from the beginning. I'll leave my, there is my slip knot. Okay, so there is my slip knot. I'm just trying, oh, I'm very close in, that's why. Let's just go back out again. That's it. Right, so here is my yarn. I'm just straightening it out a little bit, so perhaps, so just run your fingers over it like that, and it straightens out. So it's going over my little finger, under my ring, and over those two, the middle and the first finger. Now, when I've got it in the right place, I clench my hands together. That one will come apart a little bit, and my first finger and thumb are going to hold around that knot on my slip knot. So let's just do it again to get, and you might have to do this a few times. So start quite close when you're putting it over your little finger. So there's very little yarn there, because you can slip it out until it's in the right place. So over the little, under the ring, and I clench my fingers then, and then over the top of those two. And then when it's just, probably the slip knot is just on my first finger, that's when I grab the knot, and I can feel that is fairly tight. Whoops, let's just see if I can bring that over, like, is that any better? So it's over my little, under my ring. Oh, yes, it's over my two here. And then I just pull these two apart so that I've got that piece of yarn there to be able to put my hook into. So I'm holding onto, I'm just going to do it again because it slipped. So over the little, under the ring, over the two together, and then thumb and first finger on the knot. So then, can we see it here? I'm going under that yarn, and I'm keeping it taut. I can feel that thread here is nice and taut, and just pull it through my slip knot. So I've sort of twisted it round a little bit, but I'm going to put my thumb onto that chain where I can only see one, because the longer it gets here, the longer your chain is. Oh, jolly good. Okay, so around, under, then around, under the yarn, into the hook, and pull it through. So when I've got 3 chains there, I'm going to move my thumb up. Gonna practice. That's jolly good. That's jolly good. So I've still got it taut. If I hold my, you can see how taut that is there. So I'm going to, the hook goes under that yarn, and can you see I'm moving my hand backwards a little bit so that I can pull that through easily. Am I still in there? I keep moving. Move my thumb up, under the yarn, into the hook and pull it through. Move it so that I can see that yarn, under the yarn, into the hook and pull it through. Move it up again. So I've also, can you see how the chain is sitting then on the underside of those two fingers? And I'm just holding it, the chain against there, and that is also keeping it taut as well. So under there and in, under there and pull it through. Move your thumb up, under and pull it through. Keep putting my head down. Under and pull it through. Under and pull it through. Okay. So there is my chain. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How funny that I should have 10 yet again. The work hands are out of shot. Oh, it's really hard. It is really hard for me. Right, let's just pop that down there. I'm trying to see what on my here you go. On my screen I can see it looks okay. I need somebody to come and sit here and actually film onto my hands. Okay, so that's how we do a chain. I'm just going to see now if I can do this. I'll keep my slip knot there. Okay, see if I can show you left-handed. As I say, I'm not left-handed, so I wasn't very good. So I'm going to move my main bulk of yarn over to the right. Okay, and that is what from the main part of the yarn, this is what's going to go in my fingers. So over the little finger, under the ring finger, and over those two, and thumb and forefinger on there. This is, honestly, it's really hard for me. So I've got it like this. So this is my left hand. Can you see that? So it's over the little finger, under the ring, over those two, and I've got my thumb and my, that's it, and my thumb and finger, or the slip knot between there. So then I'll put my hook in here. I'm going to, let's see if I can. I've got to, this is hard. I was trying it earlier. It wasn't too bad, but it wasn't good. Right, so I'm going to get my yarn in there and pull it through. No, let's just see again. So under, into the hook, and holding onto, whoops. So under, into the hook. Now then you see what, it is hard. I'm sure if you are left-handed, it is a lot easier. Let's just put that through again. So over, under. Oh, it needs to come over there, doesn't it? Right. Oh, there we are. That's probably why. That was why I hadn't got it right, had I? So over, under, over. Into here. And then that's it. Wrap it round. Put the yarn into the hook and pull it through. Or there's one. Okay. Under, wrap it round and pull that through. There we go. Okay, so under, into the hook, oops, and pull that through. Oh, we didn't get there. I was trying to get clever there, wasn't I? So it's in the, so under there, pull it round. Nope. But you as left-handed people, you will be able to do it. So keep it in the hook and pull it through. So you will, so there we are. So if I can do it, so I'm moving my thumb up and my finger now, and I'm going over, so into that hook. Now don't pull that chain down, that one that's already on there. otherwise you won't be able to slot it through. There we are. So that was through. So under, and keep that chain. Whoops, you see I'm letting the chain close up. Don't let it close up. Whoops, pop that back in. So grab the yarn and pull that through. Okay, grab the yarn, twist it round, just twist the hook a bit. Oops, there we go, twist the hook so that we can pull that through the chain. Oops. Okay, so I'm just going to, a minute, just pull that tension, and I'm going to give one more go. So in the gap, so that we just twist that round, it's in the hook. Oh, I've got that too long. So make sure you've only got one chain showing. You see, I can see why. So you only want the smallest bit. So into the hook, and no. Oh dear, what a mess. Right, so under the yarn, twist it round and pull that through. There we are. I can assure you it is easier. So, whoops, I've got to get it through that. There we are. Okay, so as a non-left-hander, it is possible. Okay. It would be the same if we were doing it right-handed, I think. Yeah. I think you would see a reverse of what you get. Yeah. So you can do it. Let me just but you know, whichever you are, right or left-handed, you will be able to do it. It's just getting that action that suits you. So let's just go one more with the right-handed. So over the little finger, under the ring finger, and over those two, nice and taut. So I'm holding my crochet hook there because I'm holding the knot of the slip knot, and that's nice and taut. So now I can go into there. It's just what I'm used to. So twist it round into the hook, but I am moving this hand backwards and forward just so that it gives me sight of that yarn that I'm picking up. So too many there. So slip my hand up so that I'm on my thumb, so I can just see one chain, and then I can go. And you see I'm twisting my hand round so that I can get the yarn into the hook and pull it through, into the hook and pull it through. And if you can see this hand here, let me see if this, so even that is twisting round. Okay, now those chains have become not so, but you can see how both hands are sort of going like this. They're not hurting my wrists, but they are just moving in unison. So let's just see. So under the yarn, into the hook and pull it through. Move my thumb up, hold it with the first finger and through. Under the yarn, pull it through. Under the yarn, pull it through. And I can feel all the time this tension here, because it's right in my little finger. It's in like the webbed, if I've got webbed fingers, it would be where the web is. Oh, Carol's book has arrived. Fabulous. Yes. Okay. Okay. So how do we feel? Do we feel that we can do this? Do we feel that we can keep? Do we feel that we can crochet there? So it can become, the more you do, can you see how that is so much nicer? The more you do, the easier it will become. So I'm just going to pull that all undone. Okay. And I'm just going to do it one more time, so you're not going to forget how to do this. So I'm going to make the slip knot. So I'm going to put one, oh, I'm doing it the other way around, aren't I? Okay, I'm going to make myself a little circle. Doesn't matter how much yarn there is, but enough. I usually push it up from the short end there. So we've got it crossed over there, and I'm going to push the, not right the end, but I'm going to make the little loop come up in the middle, and then I'm just going to pull that together, and then I have my slip knot. So I've got a circle with a knot there, which will move freely up and down. If I wanted to make it bigger, I could just pull it, and we've made it bigger again. And if I bring it down, we can make it smaller again. So into the crochet hook, into the hook, make sure the chain is left big enough, because you could pull it down to that size, and there's no way then you're going to get the hook going through that chain. Needs to be able to go all the way up there to make it nice and easy to get your hook through. So as a right-hander, you want the short end in your right, on the right, and you want the main yarn to your left. So over the little finger, under the ring, and over the other two. Clench your fingers together, and then just trap that knot between your thumb and forefinger. And then you're going to put the yarn under the hook. My knot's gone a bit, my slip knot's a little bit too tight, and just pull that through. Okay, so there's the first one. So under, into the hook, and pull it through. Under the yarn, into the hook, pull it through. Under the yarn, into the hook, pull it through. Under the yarn, into the hook, pull it through. Under the yarn, into the hook, and pull it through. Under the yarn, into the hook, pull it through. And it can become, I'm not doing these as evenly as I could, but you can see that easy action. I should think it's good exercise. So, and they should be nice and even, because this may be the base of something that you're making, and you want it to look so that you see just those edge stitches. Jolly good, Caroline. You'll catch up, Catherine. Jolly good. Oh, and Jack's going to practice doing lots of even chains. I think, okay. So that is what I'd like you to do. Have a little practice, and I will perhaps come back Tuesday, let's say Tuesday, and show you the next step. Let's just come back up again. Oh, the comments are here. Brilliant. The comments started coming, but I could see them on my phone, so it was a good idea. Whoops. Oh, I always look so close. Don't need to be as close as that, do I? Okay. So, I'm glad you're really enjoying it. So, lots of you have tuned in. So, I would think, I mean, in this group, we've got about 250 people. Oh, never mind, Jane. You've just ordered the book. Okay. This is the book. Now, the other thing I should have said as well is that just make sure if you're trying to read a pattern, you've got an... Yeah, I used to just do that, yes. Under the yarn, over the hook, pull it through. That's right. It is something that I'll keep saying and saying, and especially when we come to doing the stitches as well. Yes. Now, it may be that it is written in US terminology as opposed to UK. Now, fortunately, this is UK. I'm sure this is UK because I followed it to the T, to the letter. Yeah. This is written, it's a Search Press book. I don't know who it's by. It was by Val Pierce. So it is UK terminology. Oh, right, Kirsty. Yes, yeah. Yeah, finger knitting. I have done that. I didn't find it very quick, but yes, I have done a little bit, a long time ago. Used to use sari yarn, and I'm sure there's a bit of sari yarn hanging about here, because every now and again I see it and think, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, so this is UK terminology. So when it says a DC, it is a double crochet, and when it says a TR, it is a treble crochet. Whereas, I think the Americans, the single crochet is a double crochet, and a double crochet is a treble. So you can get used to it. Christine, lots of you didn't get the notification, but what we were saying was, on the top of the screen, there's 3 little dots. If you click on there, it may be that it's only set to highlights as opposed to all notifications. So if you change that, you should get notifications in the future. Okay, so I say this is the book. The other one that came through yesterday, I haven't had a great look at it, but I've seen enough to think, oh, that is lovely. That was also under £10. Flowers. And what I'm thinking of, all these nice little ones, so they wouldn't take long to do, but adding those to your slow stitching and crocheting them in whatever thread or yarn that you want to. So a nice fine yarn for little, yes, so nice little ones, because it is great to use crochet in with your slow stitching, but I hate to think about chopping up some crochet or put on a hoop to make wreaths. You could. All sorts of things. So to make little individual flowers and use them individually, fantastic. So I'll show you those, not straight away, but I'm building up what I can do, and I'll show you whatever books I've used if you would like to get them. But I mean, I can't copy patterns. This is the thing. There's some free patterns that I'll give you that are free with yarn purchases, because I'm able to do that with the suppliers I use. But these patterns that are in here, when I'm showing you, can you crochet with floor? Yeah, you can, Lindsay. I'm going to give that a go. And yeah, old knitting wool, that's great. Yep, absolutely. Whatever you can dig out yarn-wise, give it a go, because you'll find there's your preferred yarn. I mean, once you've got to grips with it with double knitting, and you might have some Aran yarn, and that grows so quickly. It just depends what you're going to be doing. I have somewhere, Sheena, can't think whether it was called Harmony Guide or not, but I have got quite a few crochet books somewhere. Oh, you missed out about the book. Oh, you don't have to, Patricia. It's just that some of them that I showed, what was it? This one. So this is one of them from the book. Oh, let's pop it on that side there. So I made this just from the instructions. So as opposed to, now let me see. So this was just a granny square I made off the top of my head. This is your basic. This is a granny square. And you've got your 4 in the middle, and it just goes round and round in the different colours. Whereas I then, from this book, this one's got, it's called a circle in a granny square, and you can see the white around here looks as though it's circular, and you've got little spokes coming out the centre rather than 4 sets of trebles. And then I then did this one. There we are. So this one's using change. You can see those. Let's just pull it a little bit wider with bigger holes, different centre start. So oh, you lent them out and never got them back. Yeah, give that a practice, Bridget. And there's always Wednesday. You can do it. You can do it. So this one's in the book as well. There's lots more I wanted to do. I don't think this one is, but I just had to have a go with a hexagon. So I have got a pattern that I'm going to give you for the hexagon when we get round to doing it. But that one is quite straightforward, and it's one that I am able to give free. But I'm not going to breach any copyrights for anything. And, and the other thing, just like machine embroidery designs, we must not share. It is a breach of copyright, even though, you know, we are all very caring people who like to help others and share. Yeah. So, yeah, there is so much, so much we're going to do. I've also got on the go a cowl, which is really nice and easy. That's something I can give you the pattern for. But I want to finish it first, and I'm using a different type of yarn that I've got, which I haven't showed you yet. Just want to see how much or how big I can make it from 100-gram ball of double knit. Yep, double knit wool. Yep, use that to practice. Absolutely. I think, no, that's a different one there. But yes, this is the book. Totally recommend. So Amazon have it. I'm sure other people, if you Google it, they may have it as well. But obviously Amazon comes very quickly and I just love it. Anyhow, I thought we'd only be about half an hour, but it has been absolutely lovely showing you those bits and pieces and how to get going. So keep going with your chains, see if you can get them nice and even. I don't think this was the most even the way I was doing it, but this is what you want to be, something along these lines. So starting with your slip knot and then making your chain. And next time, which as I say, I'll give you, I think I'll see if I can do a half day's notice of when I'll be able to do it. I've got orders to get out. Oh, it's been fun, Anne-Marie. Jolly good, jolly good. Yes, and so we'll go on to the next step of a double crochet. I'm trying to think whether I'll bring in the single crochet, because there is a single crochet, but I think we'll do the double crochet. I know, Judith. Well, this is the thing. If we've got loads of messages, it's just very difficult to try and have but I said this weekend that I'd try and get one out for you. Yes, absolutely. Don't be buying loads of things if you don't think you're going to enjoy it. But if you do, obviously, I won't have books. I will be giving some free patterns, and I will have some yarns to go along the way. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday and Monday as well. And I will see if I can see you on Tuesday. But on Tuesday in the Sew with Trisha group, obviously we have machine embroidery. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you then. Bye for now.